We pray for patience, but do we really understand what it takes to develop it? Long suffering isn't just about enduring hard times, it's about God cultivating within us the fruit of patience. Let's dive in. Hello, I'm Q. If you're ready to grow in your faith with God and walk closer with God, this is the right place for you. I post new videos every Tuesday, so hit like and subscribe. In today's video, we're diving into the fruit of patience. Galatians 5:22 tells us about the fruits of the Spirit, and one of them being patience. Point number 1, defining patience. Patience, aka long suffering, in the Greek language is makarothmia. It means slow to anger, long temper, refers to the quality of being patient and enduring, especially in the face of provocation or difficulty. This is a characteristic of God, to be slow to anger. Exodus 34:6 tells us, the Lord passed by him and proclaimed, the Lord, a God merciful and gracious, slow to anger and abounding in steadfast love and faithfulness. This same patience is expected in believers because we are expected to reflect Christ's image, and Christ reflects his Father, who is the Lord our God, whom we can call Abba through adoptionship now once we come to Christ and enter into the new covenant with him. Though he tarry, he is not delayed. Patience is a heart posture. It is the act, it is the art of waiting, and waiting on the Lord. It is a reflection of your character. It is countercultural to what people do. The world wants instant. They want things now. The world has no patience. They do not know how to sit and abide and wait from things. The art of waiting is lost on the world. But as a follower, as a believer, we are to have patience. We are to know the art of waiting and having patience. It promotes a lifestyle of endurance and forgiveness instead of unforgiveness and being petty and holding grudges. The amount of patience you have reveals your intimacy with God, how close your relationship with God is. The more you're able to wait patiently in any situation, including when you're waiting on the Lord, it reveals how much time you truly spend in the presence of God, waiting for him, because fruit is developed by abiding. It grows slowly. It is progress. And if you have the patience to wait, this fruit will be displayed in your everyday life. You will have the patience to endure. You will be slow to anger, able to hold out and wait on things. As time passes by, there is an ease, a gentleness, and a stillness in your heart, because you're used to dwelling and abiding in the presence of God. There is no rush within you because you know the Lord your God is the keeper of time. You know the Lord your God is working things out. There is a steadiness, a steadfastness in your heart to stand firm and wait. Patient endurance. You have the ability to endure for a long time. Whether it be you waiting on the Lord and your promises, or you're waiting in the doctor's office. Slow to anger. Patience helps you in transforming the posture of your heart from a state of faintness to a state of submission and surrender. Remember, the fruit is birthed by abiding, steady growth over time, and through a process. Fruit is developed. It doesn't just come out when the springtime hits, fruit is there. No, it is developed. It is grown over time. It is matured before it is ripe and ready for harvest. In order to birth patience, you must learn how to abide in the Lord, to wait on the Lord while you are grown, while you are developed, while you are matured, while you are processed. And this development comes through long suffering. A lot of our development is birthed through pains because the Lord can't get to us through His word. The Lord can't get to us any other way. So a lot of us are developed and birthed and processed through pain, through your pains, trials, and tribulations, until you are ready and ripe for harvest, for the Lord to use you, for you to step forward in your call, in your calling to do the Lord's work here on earth. Take David, for example. He was a shepherd. He had to fend off bears and lions. Is that not painful to have to fight against a bear and against a lion? And then once he came to Saul, he had to run for his life. This is pain. This is trial and tribulation. But through this process, David was birthed to be the king he was, able to follow God. And though he fell, because a righteous man may fall several times, he was still considered a man after the heart of God, because he still sought the Lord first. He knew how to abide in God. So long suffering helps develop us into who we need to be. From developing through long suffering, you will learn how to have love, how to have joy, and how to look for God in your everyday life during trials and tribulations, how to look to God for peace even when there are things happening. You learn how to reflect the love of God to others. Point number 3, patience is an endurance builder. Long suffering builds up your endurance and stamina to resist the devil, to stand against him, and to continue to hold up your shield of faith despite the oncoming and ongoing attacks. You learn how to look towards God, how to set your eyes to the things above despite what is going on. Though 10,000 may arrive at one side and 1,000 at another, you sit in your pavilion knowing you are covered by the Lord. Just like Joseph in Egypt and in the pit, he kept his focus on God despite his trials, despite his tribulations. How do we apply this to our real lives? Number 1 is grace. Give yourself grace and ask God for the grace to get through your storm and get through your trial. Ask the Lord to give you the grace to grow in patience and to show you where you keep failing and where you keep falling, so you can learn to abide in him, which brings us to point number 2. Dwell in the presence of the Lord. Abide in the Lord. Get into your word. The only way to get through it is to keep your focus on God. Just like Peter on the water, keep your focus on the Lord. Because soon as you take your eyes off of God and you focus on the trials, you focus on the storm, you focus on the waves, you begin to sink. You begin to drown. So as long as your eyes are fixed on God, you are able to walk on water, and you will prevail and conquer your storm and conquer your trials. But you need to stay in the presence of the Lord. You need to dwell in the presence of the Lord, and you need to abide with him. So that is it. That is all for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. Comment down below. I will abide in the Lord and grow the fruit of the Spirit, that is patience. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, faithstepswithGod, for more teaching on your faith walk and growing closer with God. And remember to travel a road that requires faith. Bye.